This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
I don't know. Why would they sit there and watch us talk into microphones and look at each other and look at your faces that you give me sometimes?
And co-host Marnie Winfield.
In situations like that, if you take the time to weigh the pros and cons of your involvement in something, I think this is across the board with a lot of things in life. Does it make sense for me in my world?
It is the 30th of October, 2021. They call this the pre-Devil's Night of all across the land in America. Didn't know if you knew that. It's facts. My name's Corey Winfield.
I'm Marnie Winfield.
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
This is the 217 Recovery Podcast. Marnie and I sit back, talk about stuff, sometimes recovery stuff. A lot of times recovery. A lot of times, there's something usually tied in. Mm-hmm. I don't think we've done a podcast totally that didn't have recovery, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
Especially when I had Chris Goss and Ryan Beckman on.
That was amusing, though.
Yeah. Miss those guys, sort of. Everybody changes. You move on,
Yeah.
Wish them well. But, it's Halloween tomorrow. You wanted to talk about Halloween movies. And you started talking about that stupid one from Adam Sandler. You thought it came out last summer, and it came out last October.
It did. I looked it up.
Harvey or what's it called?
Hubie Halloween.
Yeah.
It was completely ridiculous.
How would you rate that movie on a 1 to 10?
Oh, 2. It was bad on the Adam Sandler scale. Wow.
I'm not a fan of his mentally challenged characters.
Yeah, and he does the same imitation talk.
Mm-hmm. It's like
in a lot of his movies.
It's like the Water Boy without foosball.
Exactly, it's exactly that.
At least, and it just, I don't know. I wasn't a big fan either. I give it a 1. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't waste my time on it.
Yeah,
just get some sleep or something. If you're like, I'm gonna watch this movie, just go. You know what? I'm just gonna go sleep instead.
Right. Well, the reason why I said it, I thought it came out in summer, is I remember it was like in the list of things to watch on Netflix. It's sometime that was completely not Halloween. I just remember watching it, and it was like, I thought it was the middle of summer. But
yeah, you get older, memory fades a little bit.
I guess so. I guess that's it.
Got COVID.
Right.
My God. So I got you an early Christmas present.
You did.
And it came today.
And you made it very known that it needed to be presented before Christmas.
Yeah, just so you can have your results. Mm-hmm. And I went to 23andme.com. It's the ancestry thing. It was on sale. So I got me one, too. And my God, if you would rather do something than watch that stupid Adam Sandler movie, get that test and then start taking their surveys. I've been taking their surveys for the past 14 hours. No,
you haven't. It's not 14. It's been like an hour and a half.
Well, it felt like 14. Man. That's what I was saying. Because I would get done and be like, yeah, you completed it. I'm like, cool. And I hit OK. And it's like, whoop, you want to complete the COVID one? I'm like, sure.
So what do they ask?
Do you have diarrhea? Do you have headaches? Do you have cough? Like, what symptoms do you have? And then they asked me about high blood pressure. And of course, yeah, I have high blood pressure. What medication you on? And then they asked me like 85. Are you on this one, this one, this one? Instead of just like posting them and can I just click the one I'm on? Because oh my God, it was hell. And then finally, like the last 2, that's the one I'm on.
Mm-hmm. So they mean like right now you're on that, or?
Yeah, for the high blood pressure. And they ask if I ever had like a UTI or if I've ever had a stroke or heart attack, or if anybody in my family has. I don't know, just your normal questions times a billion. What'd you eat for breakfast? Have you smoked over 100 cigarettes in your life? But see, and then it starts talking about tobacco products, and I don't consider vaping a tobacco product. I know the state of Michigan does, so they can tax it, and they're actually thinking about, and this is insane, like for like a 60 mil, people who vape, what I'm talking about, 60 mil, I don't know, it depends where you go on the price, but they're going to add $10 just in tax to it.
Wow.
That's what they're talking about.
But it's not a tobacco. There's no tobacco in vaping.
I know. They should just call it a nicotine product. But then they'd be like, well, but nicotine's not really harmful. Yeah, it can increase your heart rate, and it's addictive, and that's what people need is the nicotine. but they don't want to because then it's like, well, if we could call it nicotine tax, and then we'd have to tax coffee because we have to tax caffeine and all these other stimulants that people use that's just fine. But all of a sudden, vaping comes out, and they're like, "Oh no!" And this is what cracks me up too: is the harm reduction guy here in Traverse City. His name's Derek. He hates vaping. He's like, "Oh," and he like last time I knew, he was like making fun of people for vaping, like, "Oh, you sissies." I don't even know what he said, but it was something that I took offense to, and I was like, "Wait, you work at harm reduction, and you're telling me that vaping isn't a harm reduction to cigarettes? Like, are you kidding me? I don't cough. I don't have. Is it 100% good for me? Probably not. Neither is that ice cream I eat all the time.
Right.
That's going to give me diabetes and kill me probably quicker than the vaping is. So, I cut that out. And you can cut out the nicotine. I have very, very small amounts of nicotine in the stuff I vape. And you can just cut that down and cut that back. And there's other ways to go around it. Now, is it still good for you? No. But neither's pot. There's so many things that if you really want to nitpick, but I guarantee you from personal experience, vaping is better than smoking cigarettes. And I'm sure every single doctor will tell you that. Yeah. So there you go. Harm reduction. Instead, they just want to tax the hell out of it. And I just get so frustrated. And since I'm on my soapbox, let's just keep going. The governor, my mom's governor of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer, she is like, oh, they're, and whoever's putting money in her pocket to do all this stuff, because that's what it boils down to. She's a politician, how it works. But they are using they're targeting it to kids because they have Fruity Pebble flavor. Look, they got, Fruit Loops, and they got cherry and watermelon, and look at them. How about we start where Fruity Pebbles started? How about we go after Tony the Tiger? They're great. You're going to get diabetes. Eat a bowl of this every day. How about we go after the cereal companies? How about we go after all these things that are supposedly targeting kids? They're targeting kids by calling it a cereal name. Let's talk about the cereal then. So if they had a vape called Honey Bunches of Oats or Grape Nuts, is that gonna fly? Or are they still targeting kids? I would love Gretchen Whitmer to answer me about that one.
Right. I'm sure she's probably heard from you about that already.
Common sense is just isn't so common.
Exactly.
All right, I'm done. I'm worked up enough. I just hate that. It just drives me nuts. And I just can't wait to vote her out. And everybody else I need to vote out. I'm just going to vote them out. So that's all we can do.
Let's calm down a little bit.
Just saying. When's the election? It can't come fast enough.
Right. Well, I made it out of the house the other day with crutches.
Oh yeah. Let's fill people on your injury.
No, we don't.
So it was a sex injury, right?
No, I have a herniated disc in my between my L4, L5, whatever. It happens.
How did it happen? Let's tell the story.
No, it happens. It just happens.
Where were you at? What were you doing?
No, it happens. Don't be like that.
You don't want to tell the story though.
So anyhow,
let the people
it's
know.
extremely my back itself is not the painful part. It's my leg. That's the nerve that it is pinching. It runs down your leg. Anyway, we don't need to go in a whole thing about it. But
call it that sciatic nerve. Sciatic.
Yeah. So after multiple visits with the neurosurgeon and really no success in the medication that they tried to give me with steroids and stuff, I'll be having a surgery on it. Micro disectomy, something.
Sounds scary.
Yeah. It's something like a minor surgery, but I'm over this and need to get back into my world again. And so anyhow, but I was able to make it out on crutches, and you took me to a nice dinner at a place I haven't been since I've lived here, but I used to visit all the time. And it was kind of nostalgic.
Yeah, we went to a place where they cooked the food right in front of you. It was so hot in there.
Oh my, you were like dying.
Yeah, and the guy was like, "You want toys?" I couldn't understand him. I just was like, "Thank you."
You were still stuck on the fact that they spelled Pepsi wrong on
they did
on their menu, and so he ordered it as they spelled it, and then she had no problem writing it down.
Pepsis.
Yeah.
I was like, "I'll have a Diet Pepsis." Because that's what it said. It said Pepsi fine, but then if you went to the Diet Pepsis, I was like, I'll have the Diet Pepsis. She's like, okay, Diet. But yeah, you kind of chuckled.
I know.
The other people, because it's like a family dining thing where other people are there too, whatever, around you.
Yeah. So for those of you who haven't been to, it's a hibachi grill, and they kind of like have a U-shaped. So there's seating all around this grill. So it's kind of a coin. It's kind of a coin flip on who you're going to be eating dinner with, like whose conversations you're going to be overhearing.
And those people we sat next to us because we were there first. They were all right. You know, it was a man and a wife and like 3 kids.
And then by the time dinner's over, you know everything about everything that's going on in the world.
Yeah, and they were like, I'd say they ranged from like 8 to 12 probably. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like baby kids or nothing, you know. It was.
But apparently it was an important dinner because mom was planning the daughter's life, who was going to be, she was shipping her off to Arizona to go to horse equestrian
but then
training.
Then there was some med school brought up too or something.
Yeah.
And
then they went down the line of where all the kids were going to go. I'm like, they're just like babies. They're just like little tykes.
Well, they look like they had the kids for financial gain. Like, hey, maybe we're going to make a football player. And then they just had 3 girls and they're like, damn.
And then the boy came.
We got to send them off to school.
Yeah.
But one of them was a boy?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No.
The one in the corner was a boy.
Huh.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's weird. I guess the other 2 could have been boys too then. I mean,
there was 4.
What?
Yes, there was 4.
There was just 3.
No.
I don't know. Whatever.
There's 4.
I wasn't paying attention. I was hungry.
Yeah. So it was good. It was good food. But they were talking about Halloween movies. Mm-hmm. And they were doing the parent thing on what they could and couldn't watch and why. So the mom and dad were kind of bringing up their favorite movies. And then they're like, oh, but you can't watch that.
And then the dad, he said something that to me was really puzzling because, I mean, he was drinking a Corona and the mom had some wine. But he said something about, I think the new Ghostbusters is out.
What?
This is word to, I know that Bill Murray and them were talking about making a new Ghostbusters.
Wow. Is that considered a Halloween movie?
Afterlife.
So it is coming out.
2021.
That's awesome. I'll watch that.
Paul Rudd is in it. Carrie Coon.
Who's that?
I don't know. Finn Wolfhard. Oh, that's a creepy looking dude that's in another movie. It says Bill Murray's in it. Dan Aykroyd. Oh, Ernie Hudson. That's my dog. We used to hang out in Benton Harbor. That's where he's from.
Is he in the earlier ones? He is.
Yeah.
Because he was the guy that's in Fear of the Walking Dead.
Well, let's see about the trailer. Can I play the trailer?
Whoa.
What are you doing here in Somerville?
Where's the trailer?
Oh.
Honestly, my mom won't say it, but we're completely broke.
Oh, I hate that.
And the only thing that's left in our name
Driving.
is this creepy old farmhouse our grandfather left us in the middle of nowhere.
That's where they're going.
Why'd you bring me up here?
Entertainment value?
Whoa.
What is that?
I don't know.
Sorry, you can't see.
I'm just waiting for the music.
Whoa. Looks like Slimer.
Somehow, a town that isn't anywhere near a tectonic plate, that has no fault lines, no fracking, no loud music even, is shaking on a daily basis.
Paul Rudd seems to be
Under the dining table now!
a scientist.
Hey, remember that one summer we died under a table?
Uh-oh.
I found this in my living room.
Whoa, killer replica.
A replica of what?
Oh, that's
A ghost trap?
Yeah, ghost trap.
Ah, nice. I'm waiting for the music. Waiting for it.
There hasn't been a ghost sighting in 30 years.
So it looks creepier.
New York in the 80s?
Well, there's
Like
some
The Walking Dead.
there's some cheese
Your
to
dad
it.
never mentioned this to you?
It's just my
Just
mom.
wait for the music.
Huh.
My grandfather died. My mom says we're just here to pick through
Haven't
the rubble of his
seen
life.
Bill Murray yet. Or Aykroyd.
Wait a minute.
Oh, here comes Ghost Trap. Got something in it.
Who are you?
Next year.
Call it
fate. Call it luck. Call it karma.
That's Murray.
I believe that everything happens for a reason.
It's not showing them. Whoa.
Come on, darling.
This farmhouse looks like hell. Uh-oh. Here comes the car through the cornfield. The kids are in it, though.
That's a gunner seat?
Oh, man. I don't think so. Ghostbusters. Afterlife.
No music?
Written by Coming Soon.
That is completely disappointing that they did not have the Ghostbuster.
That was a waste of time.
I don't know. I'll watch it.
It definitely a kid movie, which I guess the real Ghost. I don't know. Was the original? I was a kid when it came out, and I loved it, so maybe it was. But was the original Ghostbusters? Was that something that we would go see today? Like if it came out brand new, we're like, hey, that's something we're gonna go see.
I think so.
We're gonna watch Hump Along Harry or whatever Adam Sandler's movie is.
Yeah, I know. No, I mean, how old were you when Ghostbusters came out?
Perfect age.
It's like
9, maybe
9, 10,
8, 9.
Okay. Because it's not like it's appropriate for kids. It's not like there's swearing or any.
I don't know. Didn't Sigourney Weaver get a little?
She had on like a crazy dress. Yeah,
she was like,
that was it though.
I have sex with you right here.
No, nothing like that. None of that was talked about. But
watched.
anyway, it was kid appropriate. Kid keep up with, probably a little bit older age. But my brother was a Ghostbuster for Halloween once, and my mom made his costume, and I was super freaking jealous.
Oh, I bet.
Because I just got I was an angel, so only thing I did was just, she made my costume too, but his had like gadgets and duct tape, and she used like vacuum hose from a. If you're listening, it's okay. I forgive you.
Well, one time I wanted to do that, but our family was too poor, so I just had to go as like a pumpkin I painted my face or something. I can't remember. Blocked that out of my memory. No, but I didn't even know that was coming out. I was like, okay, dude, you're a little behind on that. The new one was like years ago, and it came out with a bunch of women, which I haven't seen that one either. I think I started to watch it. Isn't that McCarthy chick in it?
I did not see that.
I started to watch it, and then it was like,
couldn't have been that great because I didn't even know about it.
Yeah, I didn't know about this one. But see, it says that Bill Murray's in it. Dan, what are they, just like a cameo? Like, hey, kids.
Maybe.
That's horse crap.
But you can't expect him.
Yeah, you can. Bill Murray's out there throwing out the first pitch of the World Series. He can go out and make a Ghostbusters movie. He's not that old.
That's true.
Well, he is pretty old.
Well, he's rich enough to decide not to. Let's leave it at that.
Like 90 or something.
There's reasons why they did
Well, speaking of crappy movies. Pig. Don't watch Pig. It's like a disclaimer. Don't even think about watching Pig. If you want to watch Pig, you can watch it, but then send me an email saying, damn, Corey, you were right. I wasted my time. Now, Clint Eastwood had a new movie come out recently, and with his last movies, man, the one was kind of like, The Mule, okay. But the one he did where he was in Detroit, Gran Torino.
Great movie.
And but the one with the baseball, Trouble with the Curve or something. And those were good movies. He's making some pretty good ones. And so this one, it pops up, and I'm like, oh, wow, new Eastwood movie. I want to watch it. Thankfully, you started it before I could watch it, and you said it was crap.
Yeah, I said, don't even bother.
No, and I've heard it's just so bad.
It's so terrible.
I heard the acting is just...
And I gave it a good shot. Like, I was hanging on for a good solid 35, 40 minutes into it, and it was like, where are we going with this? This is awful. What was the name of it? You can pull it up, the name of it.
It was some, I don't know, but there was a guy I was listening to The Ticket, and they were talking about how bad it was, and I'm like, man, I'm just so glad I didn't have to waste my time with that movie. And one of their listeners sent them a letter, and they're like, yeah, I watched that movie once and thought it was so bad that maybe I was missing something.
Yeah.
Like maybe there was something I missed.
That's a great way to put it.
So he watched it again. He was like, no, it's just a horrible movie.
It's called Cry Macho.
Yeah. You said it's about a horse or something?
No. Kind of. No, it's about, he works on a horse ranch or what have you. And then I think it was his boss, sent him to Mexico because he owed him, I guess, a favor or something. Sent him to Mexico to get back his child.
Whoa.
Who was 12 and was with his mother, who I guess is a lunatic. He says so, and that wants nothing to do with him. And his boy is getting in trouble. And meanwhile, this kid has not had anything to do with his dad for forever. So he sends Clint Eastwood to go to Mexico to get his kid and
parenting all
and his child, and then he's supposed to lure him back with this promise of having his own horse.
Okay, that sounds creepy as shit. Now, hey, I'm here to take you back to your dad. I'd be like, you are about to kidnap me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, give me a horse.
That's exactly how it went.
Like, that's creepy as shit.
But then the kid catches on that he does want a horse because he's not really happy where he's at. But the reason what throws me off the most is the name of this movie is called Cry Macho, and this kid, when he first finds the kid in Mexico, he's doing this this underground cockfighting with his own rooster, and so whose name is Macho. And as far as I know, is that thing that Macho, his rooster, never comes back into the movie except for like the first 10 minutes of it. No, the first like 25 minutes of it, where he finds the kid that way, and he says his rooster's name is Macho.
So you're gonna see a lot of cock.
Nope.
Fighting.
A couple cocks.
Whoa.
But yeah. So anyway, steer away from that movie.
Yeah. Especially since you just described it. Can you tell us how it ended? Because Pig,
I can't.
He does not get his pig back.
I can't tell you how it ended because I would not put myself through any more of that.
That's good.
But what I did watch recently that I really enjoyed in a kind of weird way was a series called The Maid. And I can't tell you the girl's name who's in it. I don't think she's been in anything else. But she's really good in the role.
She's cute. Shy.
And it's a very kind of like realistic. Oh, you know who is in it? Help me with her mom's name. The crazy mom.
Oh,
she's
the chick from Groundhog Day.
Yes,
yep,
the chick from Groundhog Day.
It's a man. It's a boy's name, isn't it?
Probably Andy or something.
Yeah, and McDowell.
Yeah, we got it. You're right. Yeah. Nice teamwork.
Thanks.
Anyway, and I mean, for people who've been through it, it kind of hits a sore spot because it's about this woman who has a child, a toddler, and her husband is completely emotionally abusive. And the reason why I thought it was interesting, because there's lots of movies about women who have abusive husbands, right? And then they have black eyes and broken arms and, get pushed downstairs, and all of that is terrible. And I can relate to that too, unfortunately. But there's another piece of abuse that kind of gets avoided socially, and I don't know the other word I'm looking for, but not really accepted or looked at as being a form of abuse, and that's emotional abuse. And this woman was literally being held hostage in this trailer and he wouldn't let her get a job. He wouldn't let her have a car. He wouldn't let her have her own bank account. He wouldn't let her handle money. So she had and treated her like crap. Nothing was ever good enough. Everything was her fault. And, called her names, and it all started because she had gotten pregnant and he didn't want her to have the kid. And from that point on, he just treated her like garbage, but kept her around. And so she had no way to leave. And when she finally did leave with the child, she was trying to get into a shelter. Well, at first she didn't think she deserved a shelter because she wasn't quote unquote abused. And this is what I really want to bring up, is that emotional abuse is extremely, it's a real thing, and people will take away your freedom, and I hate that I'm always making it like men and women. I'm sure there's men who've been through the same, but there was a lot, I was crying some tears, but the whole series is about her struggle and, how the system works, lots of that in there. Holes in the system, and but how she kind of has to build her life up because she has no credit. She has no, proof of anything. She hasn't had a job in forever. And to start over with that. And I guess, comparatively, when you have like someone with, like some of us, who are coming out of an addiction, who literally we've been living off the grid, I guess you want to say, for maybe years at a time, with where we don't have a job history, we don't have a bank account, we don't have a living address or proof of residency where we have been residing. We don't even sometimes have our credit cards or our social security cards or driver's licenses or even photo IDs because we've lost them or they were taken. And then that's like starting over, and that's hard.
My question is, as somebody who might be going through that at this current moment and they watch that, do they catch on and go, wow, like, she should have done this, or maybe and then kind of associate that with stuff that they may be doing?
You mean like how to?
Yeah, because we can watch it, because I watched a little bit of it and I was like, and for me, and this is foreign to me, but that doesn't mean it, obviously it exists. So, but for me, I don't know. I don't think, sometimes I make fun of you and I try not to, But I don't, like, in my opinion, try to keep you down or anything like that. I don't try to be mean to you. I love you and I want you to be successful and I want you to do great things in your life. So, like, for me, I have never, like, done that. But, like, but I know somebody in my family who has, and they're kind of going through it now. And she was just like, oh my God, kind of like the same thing like you, like, oh my God, that hits home. But you look at it and you go, oh, why didn't she stay with the one guy? Because he was nice and he treated her well. And instead she goes right back to the one guy, and you're just like, what? Big mistake. You're doing this to yourself, and does somebody that is going through it now, do they recognize it and kind of look back at what they're doing in their life? Like, oh, maybe I should leave a homeboy. He did hit me last weekend, and he did say this exact thing to me, like, or do they just go, well, that's them and this is me, and he loves me, and whatever.
I can tell you exactly. I can tell you exactly what's that. Okay, so if you're sitting at home and you were watching that movie with somebody you were in a relationship that was similar to that, that shit would be turned off like ASAP, because nobody wants. Even if he knows that he's doing it, he doesn't want that to be out in like. Oh, if he's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't want to even talk about it in conversation or any ideas. Yeah,
no ideas. Like, you don't even want to. It's like it doesn't exist. They keep you, and you feel like you need them, you feel like, and plus, especially when there are children involved, for God's sakes. And when there's lots of the repetition, and they, and then of course, when she finally gets the guts and figures out a way to leave, you get I'm so sorry. It'll never happen again. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm going to change. You don't deserve that. I'll get better. I'll treat you like a princess. It'll never happen again. And then, you just, even this is just a short series, you see this cycle, go back over again. And it's really sad. It was sad. But for me, it was some sort of empowering because, I have been in that situation, and you can get out of that situation and you can ask for help, because nobody deserves to live like that. You don't need somebody else making you feel like crap about yourself and keeping you down, especially when there's drugs and alcohol involved. And they're the ones that are in control of that. So many women, and once again, I apologize for saying women, because like I said, it can go both with the men as well. But whoever's in control of the funding of the addiction, then they even more so you belong to them. Because if you can't get your drug, you know that right now at this very moment, he's the only way that you're going to get it. You're not going to leave. You'll deal with whatever it is that is the bullshit he's putting you through. And that's part of my story. But it doesn't have to be that way, and I could go on and on about this forever, about preparing to leave and who to reach out to and stuff like that. But there are resources on our website that might be helpful. If you're in a situation like that, you don't have to live like that. And I know the drugs and alcohol, like I said, it makes it way more complicated. But, one thing at a time. So.
Yeah, that's something that I just can't believe that there are people out there, men and women, who do that, to other people. And, these are people that you're supposed to love. And, obviously there has to be a lot of mental health things wrong with the person doing that, control issues, if they're narcissistic or whatever it is, there's clearly not a healthy, normal thing. And if you're going through that, Marnie said there's resources on our website at 217recovery.com. Go to the resources page and, just kind of browse around, look and see what can be done, because, living that way, life's too short. The person in my family that's going through, I'm glad that she's out of it. And I wasn't a big fan of dude, but dude, he's got a problem with alcohol. He's got a substance use disorder, and he's at that point where he doesn't want to admit it. And that'll change a lot of people too, because deep down, I don't think the guy's a bad guy.
Right. But
you start drinking, and I know this for 100%. You start drinking, and that's not you.
No, absolutely.
And some people say that's not an excuse. And no, I guess it's not. But really, though, that's not you. That's not your soul. That's not who you really are when you're drunk or using drugs, So they don't get a free pass, but the dude has his issues. So that's why I'm not really holding it too much. I'm not taking it as personal, because I'm like, well, the dude's, he's got a problem, and he's got a long road ahead of him.
Yeah.
And he's still at that stage of, I don't have a problem. Yeah. Clearly he does. Everybody around him knows it, being on this side of it now, and once being him in that same situation of, I don't have a problem. I'm good. I got a job. I got a house. I got a car. I'm cool. I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, it's just like, bro, like, you got such a road ahead of you. It's long. It's going to be hard. And then, to tie in, on the kid thing, and
yeah,
it's, man,
it gets really complicated and really sad and messy. And especially with, like you said, you spot on with the drugs and alcohol, that if somebody has a tendency where that's where they go with anger, and you're there, and that's a common thing, I mean, all bets are off on what can happen, and you can lock yourself in the, rooms and stuff. And I can't tell you, then they'll blame the alcohol. That wasn't me. I was drunk. Well, I'm still walking around with a black eye, and they might not even remember doing it. That happens too. Honest truth. So anyone in that situation, yeah, definitely. You do not need to live like that.
Mm-mm. 217recovery.com resources page if you do need help. Oh, tomorrow, and I don't think I've talked about this but once, and tomorrow, I mean Halloween, so I'm not sure when you're listening to this, but if you can get to our website, 217recovery.com, or go to 217recovery/betterworld.com. It might be easier to go to our website. There's an auction, and it ends at 11:59 on Halloween, but it's we have a Cubs autograph poster from Ian Happ where you can donate $5 and your name will be in the drawing to win it. It's like $5, $10, and $15, and that determines how many entries you get. And then the Better World people, it's like a website organization for nonprofits, will pick the winner and let us know, and we'll mail it out.
Yeah, and we're just trying to get familiar with this. What do you call it? Website? No, yeah. The agency that does this.
Better World?
Yeah. So, I mean, once we kind of get the hang of it, we're going to try to get some more things that are going to be some cool stuff donated to us. And then we'll have them on the website. We'll post them on the website. But we're just kind of getting a feel for how it works right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the Cubs. Like, we were going to do this auction thing, and it was going to be all month long. September, COVID hit, but the Cubs sent us this, that's just a great organization. The Cubs, they support people in recovery. That we told them what they were doing, and they sent it to us, unlike, like the Tigers and the Lions. I mean, clearly they're horrible franchises and horrible teams, but, you know, they don't really support people in recovery like the Cubs do, and Target. Big shout out to Target as well.
Yeah.
They came through and hooked us up and support recovery. You know, of course, Sam's Club and Meijer here in Traverse City. And you got Breaking Alignment Plus. They service our vehicles. We get people to and from transportation, so we really appreciate them and the help that they give us as well.
Yeah.
And so we really appreciate that kind of stuff. But the Cubs, though, and then, you know, the more stuff that we're going to get. I mean, I don't know. I was talking with the guy from Better World, and he was like, yeah, this fire department, they were auctioning off like grills and all kinds of stuff. He's like, and they're, you know, getting so much money in donations that he's like, it's like a weekly thing. And I was like, yeah, it's kind of like at 1 a.m. I'm up checking bestbuy.com on their app or whatever, because that's when they have their deal of the days come out. So I thought, yeah, you know, if we can create that kind of buzz, you know, where people know like, hey, what's the new deal of the week that I can, you know, maybe win for $5.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you win a $500 TV, $5, you know?
Yep. Yeah. So we're going to expand on that, and we'll let you know about it. But I'm really excited about you were able to distribute the latest project that you figured out, and you recognized a need. And do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, it was when I was working at the treatment center here in Traverse City. I had a guy ask me, he didn't have any underwear, and he was like, hey, do you guys have underwear here? Because I don't have any. And I said, no, unfortunately, there are no underwear here that, you know, the treatment center has, you know, to give out. You know, they got toothbrush, deodorant, soap, some stuff like that, but, you know, they didn't have underwear. And he just was kind of had this really defeated look on his face, and he's like, damn. And he's like, well, do you think you could, you know, bring me some from your house? And I was like, what? He's like, yeah. He's like, do you have any like used ones or anything that you don't wear anymore? Like, and I just kind of looked at him like, like, no, I mean, that's, I don't know. That's kind of gross, but that's how desperate he was, you know, and that's how much, you know, he needed underwear. So between that, and there was another time I was in treatment, and this woman didn't have any socks, and we used to give people, you know, donated clothes and stuff from time to time at this other place I worked at. And, you know, some people would take advantage of it just because they wanted new stuff, and other people, they just didn't have anything. But this one lady didn't have any socks, you know, and so you just kind of put it together. And then I think I was talking with you or somebody just about when you open up a pair of new socks, man, it feels good, man.
Yeah.
Putting some clean socks in your feet. They're all white or black, whatever, but they just feel so soft. And same thing with new underwear. So we went out, and actually we didn't go out. We ordered it. But we went out and delivered it to the local treatment center here in Traverse City, where they have a men's and a women's facility. And I didn't realize at the time, but we donated so much more to the women. We'll make it up. But we donated 24 pair of socks and 20 pair of new underwear, new socks, new underwear to the men's facility. And we did 64 pair of socks and 44 pair of underwear to the women's facility here in town. So that was something that's pretty cool. And our next thing we want to do is provide bedding. Yeah. You know, nice, comfortable bedding. Because when I worked there, it was just like, ooh, like some of it, like I don't even know how to describe the texture of it. The blanket they had, it's just, it was, ugh. You know, and they, the treatment centers, people think, oh, they got tons of money. Well, yeah, if they take private pay, they're usually funded quite well. But when you're relying on, you know, Medicaid and how much they don't pay, it's hard for some of these treatment centers to, you know, make ends meet, let alone, you know, try to do this and do that. And then staffing is an issue for everybody right now. And they don't have the people that are going to go out and request all these donations. So we'll do it for them. And that's what we do. You know, we give back. We're a nonprofit, and these are the people I think we can really help and just provide a little bit more comfort for them. Yeah. You know, going to a place, oh, my sheets are nice, you know, great, you know. Oh, yeah, new socks, I would definitely use those. And
yeah, and I mean, people are lucky enough to bring that stuff with them, that's great. But I know that the treatment centers that I've been to, the rehabs I've been to, they've never had that as an option. And to say like there's lots of clothes donations, and that's helpful. But if you even go to like Salvation Army or a thrift store, now they do have, because they can't resell. I don't think they can resell socks, donated socks or underwear.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they can't. But anyway, they do have like 3 packs or whatever of socks. But I mean, it does cost money. And when you come into and especially because you can't leave rehab to go get those things, even if you had money. It's one of those needs that, we recognized, that Corey recognized. And I mean, they were just extremely grateful. When I was on the phone with the manager of the women's residential, she was just like, that is so awesome. Thank you guys so much. Like, wow. Yeah. So it just makes me feel really good about it.
And for the men's, like, they were like boxer briefs. So I had room to put 217 logo on their underwear. I think we talked about it. It said 217 Recovery cares about your ass.
Yeah.
Because we do.
They're pretty awesome. I was like, those are just they're people who have underwear are going to want those. So they're probably going to go real fast. They're just going to be like, I don't have any. Throw all theirs away.
Yeah, but the women, we just, that probably would have been very inappropriate. And then, I don't know. I just didn't have time either.
No, it's pretty cool. And with the bedding thing, I know what's tough about it is there's a tendency for people to take their bedding with them when they leave. Mm-hmm. But my thought on the matter is if we are able to get enough donations to get like a matching sets of, of the bedding. So it's pretty apparent. And then when they are, discharging, that it's really, that all their bedding is left on their bed. And that's one of the checkout things that they do, because they do that. Make sure that they're not, taking the alarm clock. And
yeah. And that's, I think part of that is when I worked there, a lot of it was like the person, when they asking, did you take your bedding down? Uh-huh. Okay, great. Let me, it wasn't like, yeah, just don't take your bedding down, let the treatment center take care of that.
Yeah.
The guy will go up, and if the bedding's missing, then, hey bro, you want to bring that back,
Yeah.
Or charge Medicaid for it, whatever they're going to do. But
yeah, so it's a little pricier, so it's going to take a while to reach that goal to be able to.
We dropped one off in Traverse City at Meyer yesterday, but I'm asking them for help. I'm going to ask the Meyer in Petoskey. We do go to that area, and Manistee, Michigan. We go there quite often, and seems like there was Alpena. We're always in Alpena too, going to Sunrise. So, I'm going to ask these other Meyer too, see if they'll kind of kick in a little bit and see what they can donate to kind of, make it all feasible. Maybe reach out to Sam's Club again. I don't know. They were very, very generous to us very recently. So it says you can ask for like 20 times a year or something. I was like, geez, wow. That's like twice a month.
Yeah.
Man.
So we'll probably prepare something a little more organized, and because it's going to be more of a expensive. To basically make like a
pocket, but it's fine, and not our pocket.
Right.
People have donated, and this is what the donations go for. So again, if you want to help us with that and win a Cub autograph photo or a grill or TV, whatever we have coming up next, we got to figure it out.
Yeah,
I know there's somebody very close with us that could probably hook us up with the Airbnb game.
Yeah.
Where you could do like a rental, maybe coming up next summer or next fall or whatever.
Yeah, she's down to do that.
Yeah, and she knows other people that probably would be too, where they
does.
could, auction off a weekend getaway in northern Michigan. That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
To win that for $5 entry or $10 entry, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, for sure.
So look for that. But that's just like Marnie said earlier, we're just kind of feeling this organization out, but they're really cool with us. I met with them and over Zoom, and they're real cool people, and they just want to help nonprofits, and they're a business too. So there is like a fee, but they don't charge the people that are getting the money for it. They just kind of ask the people that are giving it, hey, you want to chip in this? And
I'm really excited about this because, 217 started off, just with the podcast, but, all the ideas are there. And then us getting the transportation up and going, well, you obviously primarily, but that became a huge focus because there's a huge need there. And the crappy part about that, and better than I, and I don't want you to send you on a tangent, but the roadblocks and loops and, things you just need, it's really hard sometimes to navigate through just getting people to where they need to be. you know, and that's unfortunate. And if we could just do it and just say, hey, call me, you know, and we could just, where are you at? We could go right then and there and not have to cross the boxes and get approvals and sign offs and PHPs and where you live and where you're going gets in the way.
Yeah, call your senator, call your Michigan senator and say, can you explain to me what this PIHP thing is? PHIP, PIH, whatever. And just explain to me how that works and how it's beneficial. And just see what they say, because they probably won't even have an answer for you. And then just say, well, how does it make sense financially then? And then ask them how much, because there's 10 different PIHPs, and be like, how much do their directors get paid? How much are those people getting paid? And then you times that by 10. So that's money that's not going to help people. Where are you getting this money from? Just start asking them. And they probably don't know. And then just ask, well, who's getting the money? Because I'm curious too.
Yeah.
But
that's
again,
that's a sore spot for you.
I'm just getting off the soapbox already. I'm done already.
No, but I mean, I really want to start kind of doing that, focusing on, because that's what 217 is, you know, helping people in recovery, early recovery, and also still in active addiction, and trying to, you know, get those people on the road to recovery. So recognizing needs and filling those gaps, and you know, because we've been through it, you know, we know where there's those fallouts. So, and your help, your donations can help with things like that. And we'll let you know of all the projects that we come up with or things we're looking at to get done.
And, you know, places like Speedway and Meijer and Sam's Club and Target, and Breaking Alignment Plus, like those people who are those companies that are willing to donate to us, you know, to me, that's a sign that they believe that people can change. People can pull themselves out of active addiction and get help for their substance use disorder. And that to me means more than anything. Like, wow, like you support that. Like you believe in that. You believe in us and what we're doing, you know, and that's just remarkable, you know, and thanks again to all those great people who have donated to us, and, you know, even individuals, you know, I appreciate it. Marty appreciates it. People that got that underwear, we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And
I mean, I know we're just, it does. And, you know, we're coming up, Halloween's here. Well, not completely here, but so then that just rolls out into, this is like the little chunk of the year that's just like one holiday after another. But it's a lot of important holidays. You know, you got Thanksgiving and Christmas, and this can be a hard time for people, you know, who have lost touch with their loved ones. It can be a very sensitive issue to talk about where people are spending their holidays. I know it's a very general question, like, what are you doing for Christmas? I mean, that's just like, sometimes people say, I have no one who even wants me there, you know, or I don't even know where I could go to. And so, you know, everybody, you know, keep your head up, because I've been in that same situation. I spent one Thanksgiving in like a hotel room, and McDonald's was even closed. And I remember I ate taquitos from the gas station. That was what I had on Thanksgiving. And that was only like, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago. So, anyway, keep your chin up. And if like the people that are in treatment, when, you know, cause I work with people that are living in sober living houses, and, I'm always just like, you know, you're exactly where you need to be right now. And we're proud of you. So we try to put together stockings and things like that. But.
Oh yeah. I went and picked up some stuff, but that was from 217, wasn't it? Cause the church and.
Yeah, we did Thanksgiving dinner. We did a turkey, and.
Who donated the stuff I went and picked up from Olson's?
That was Father, Faith Reformed. Faith Reformed Church.
Okay.
Yeah, Randy helped that out. Yeah, Love Inc. I think helped as well.
Okay.
And we got all the components for a Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah, because they like donated it to 217, and then we went and got it, and then.
Yeah, I requested it for 217, and then for that purpose, and we put it together.
Do that again.
I know, we can.
I get a resources director on that.
Sure. I got it.
Okay. All right. Well, that's enough. Oh my gosh. How long do you think we've been talking?
30 minutes?
No, that's what we usually do. 50.
Whoa.
I know. Important stuff tonight.
I know.
And it's already, I was going to do the Saturday guest series, which we record the video. I had Jonathan lined up to do it. And he was on the podcast not too long ago. It's a guy we met in Pawpaw. He's a real cool dude. And just going to check in with him and see how he's doing and, post the video online. But just couldn't make it work today. Like we wanted to do it early. And then I was kind of busy with Michigan getting beat by Michigan State. And then he had some work to do on his roof. And then by the time he got done, he was like, man, I'm so sore. And it was just like, man, I got a headache. And
Jonathan, remind me.
Pink.
Okay. Was he with? I'm trying to remember. In Pawpaw?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Jonathan Dominic. He had the little...
Oh, yeah. I gotcha.
The pink shirt. You're like, you should give
cool
him the
dude.
pink hat.
Yeah. He's super into recovery. Mm-hmm. He's an awesome guy.
Yeah. And yeah, he was fun to talk to. And, like I said, we were going to have, but it just didn't happen, but we will do that again soon. And so if you want a video, the podcast that I did on Thursday with James Deere, dude from Break the Chain, that's the recovery organization out of New Zealand. He sent me the video. He recorded it and sent me the video. So like his video looks all crisp and clean. Mine's all grainy. I'm like, damn. And it was like flip-flopped when I was watching it. Mm-hmm. So I should have just recorded it myself.
So what is it that we need to get to make
nothing?
That? Okay,
that's all his recording. Like, because it was coming through his thing or whatever. But like his video camera looks great. Mine looks all grainy, but whatever. If you need a video, it is on our app, 217 Recovery app, which you can get App Store or Google Play. Mm-hmm. It's also on YouTube as well. So if you must see my face and you want to see what James looks like, he's got a really weird accent. And it was interesting to see some of the things he's never heard of. He's never heard of people being given a hot shot. And, some of the other things, it was kind of interesting. Some of the stuff that he was into and like the raves and how he got off drugs. Because like back in the day, which I should have talked to him about this, like England or whatever, mm-hmm. like would kick all the people that were in prison. They would just ship them to Australia. And that's kind of how Australia was kind of made with like all these criminals and rebels. And he kind of did that to himself. He just left England and went to Australia. It's a pretty interesting story. But yeah, if you want to see that video, you can hear the podcast as well. But it's online. So thanks again for listening. Yeah. I appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Yep. And tomorrow, depending on when you're listening to this, Sundays, it's Marnie's Sunday night replay.
Yeah.
All right, good luck on fantasy football.
Night, everybody.
Thanks for listening to the 217 Recovery Podcast. Win a bunch of free shit from 217 Recovery. Go to the app or the website, 217recovery.com.